Welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Age Inquisition. Today we are going to finish up Crestwood. Wisnon asked us to find those bodies in Old Crestwood, and now we give them to her. I guess we carried them in our pocket or something. Ew.
Too rare these days. I will prepare the bodies for cremation.
And now we are going to do our first astrarium. These are scattered all through the game world, and they're basically a connect the dots puzzle. So you'll get that diagram down in the bottom right corner, and you're supposed to duplicate it. The idea is that you can't repeat going through the same dots. Whatever, well, the number of lines that emanate from the dot are the number of times you can touch it. So if there's 2 lines coming out of it, you can touch it twice without breaking it. You can't back up and start over from the same point. You'll have to reset it. Once you've completed it, you get to see the constellation, and you'll get a little blurb about it. By completing these, you will unlock a door somewhere on that map, and inside are some special goodies.
That's different.
And it will light up where the other astrariums are, or at least their general direction. Here's number 2. The ones in Crestwood are all pretty easy. Some of the other ones in areas can be a real pain in the ass. And it's got kind of a magnetic snap to the star, and with the joystick, or at least the analog joystick on the controller, it can get a little weird, so sometimes you'll see me sort of flailing around trying to get to the right spot. I apologize. And this is a very, very important thing to find when you are in Crestwood. We are here on the map. And you come up on this hilltop and you find a table laid out for a picnic that you can loot. Yes, it's exactly what you think it is. It's a shield. Apparently this is what happens when dragon scales get into a cheese factory. Yep, it's a big fucking wedge of cheese with a knife stuck in it. Well, now we have that. Most important. We can make a nice weapon from those sad splinters we picked up from the keep door to go with that. Just take a little run down here. We're right next to a camp, and we're also very close to where we need to meet up with Hawk and the Warden. Since we took over the keep, the bandits have been displaced, and you'll find them running around in some number here.
We have a Ben Hasrath with us. A spy, an actual Canary spy. That doesn't strike anyone as a bad thing?
Says the Vint. When we're fighting, Vince.
That's not a terrible point. Okay.
Thank you, Dorian. And our third astrarium. This one looks kind of difficult, but it's really not. There's that magnetic shit. Press button. And that shows the location of the magic door we've unlocked. And this is where Judith lives, who got...
Crestwood from the dead.
Well, she friend-zoned the guy in
I take it
Crestwood.
I were better with a bow. If you're Judith, there's a man in the village concerned about you. That must be Gould, fretful as ever. I'm glad he stayed in Crestwood. He's fast as you please with a loom, but terrible with a sword. Do you farm out here? The name's Judith. I farm and I mend things for the village and people passing through. I did a fair trade with traveling merchants before the undead started attacking. Not to mention that dragon.
You live here on purpose.
Oh, you know, the fishing's grand.
What do you know about the dragon?
She moved in a month ago. The guards tried to run her off, but she snapped one's head off and she flew away. Poor Hamold. At least it was quick. Since then, she's eaten 3 horses, 5 goats, and 2 cats.
I wonder how she caught the
The
cats.
wyvern causing trouble?
It used to hunt in the mountains. Didn't bother anyone but the bandits. Lately, the beast got it in his head to come down here. It almost crippled Gould's little boy. Best someone kill it. I hope I get my hands on the liver. It makes a poison that kills rats like nothing.
And we killed that off camera.
I killed the wyvern up in the cave. The body's yours if you want it.
And she gives us a fairly decent schematic for it. Hooray.
You can make good use of it.
And we're just down the hill from Judith's cabin. And let's see what we have here. Oh, well.
She sees us!
And this time, yeah, we're gonna fight it. We're strong enough now, and this dragon is probably the easiest one there is. Dragons are obviously fairly difficult bosses, but as long as you know what you're doing, they're generally not too bad. Especially this Northern Hunter, it's really easy. Each dragon has an elemental type. This one is lightning, some are fire, some are cold. This one is pretty straightforward. It doesn't have any special tricks. Some of them can generate guards, some of them can call in adds, but this one, no guard, no adds. You should be able to take her out after getting to Crestwood, no problem. They'll telegraph their swipes with their front or back feet and their tail. Best thing to do in that case is just get the hell out of the way. And then they do this wing beat thing, and it will damage you and draw you in until you're in that kind of circle looking thing. If you're outside of it, you'll get dragged in and take damage every time she beats her wings. So best thing to do when she starts doing that is run in. You may have to use tac cam and tell your ranged teammates to get the fuck into that circle so they don't take too much damage.
Back me up!
This is one of those times when being a rogue with the grappling hook really helps because you can close distance fast. I can give Dorian a little help here. And when she does her breath attack, it will create sort of a chain lightning effect. So the closer you are to your teammates, the more damage it will do to you. Depending on what's going on, you may want to use tac cam to tell people to get the fuck away from each other. And I went down. Because I wasn't paying attention. They'll do that bite if you're directly in front of them, and that's not a good place to stand. Always to the flank or the back. But she so kindly did her wing beats, which gave me an opportunity to get myself back up. And I'll use Mark of the Rift here. Even though she gets out of the way of the AoE, it still does damage, and it also slows them way down. Bees work great on dragons. They take a lot of damage from it. And you can interrupt their attacks, and as you may have noticed, she'll kind of do a limp thing when you damage one of her legs enough. Each leg is a separate target, along with the head. I'll get these guys up again. They don't last very long, though. We'll fire. And things started to get really comical here. The Druffalo, the cows got aggroed. And I was a little worried about that because it's one thing fighting a dragon, but then you've got 3 or 4 cows involved and it turns into sort of a big mess. Except this didn't work out too badly because she started attacking the cows and the cows started attacking her, so we had a couple of extra squad mates, I guess you'd say. And that's Dorian's focus power. Freezes time. That was bullshit. Fucking physics, how do they work? And all 3 of my teammates are down here, but at this point, she's so close to dead that I'm not even gonna bother trying to revive them. Kind of a nice detail. If you really wound one of her limbs, as you can see, that back left leg is just bleeding away. And now she's aggroed the cows, so here comes the Stampede to help us out. She's just completely ignoring us and trying to kill cows. Thanks, cows. flank attack's great for getting out of the way of any of those attacks. Just dash on through. So now we've got, I think, 4 cows involved. And we killed our very first dragon.
That was great.
Except now we've got angry cows. And I would have died if I hadn't leveled up there. Now dragons, as you might imagine, drop really, really good loot. All sorts of stuff. And the tier 4 mats. Dorian got murdered by a cow. Just take care of this. Roast beef, anyone? Yeah. The rest of my squad is dead. To cows. I'll go over here and wake up Dorian. Still considered in combat, so they won't get up on their own. And they appear to be aggroed on Cassandra's corpse. I'm not sure what's going on there. Oh, it was Sarah's corpse, excuse me. But yeah.
Help Dorian!
Come on, guys, you can do it. Who would have thought cows would be so difficult? And Sarah just gets shit on. Hooray! These guys were fucking harder than the goddamn dragon!
Those words you say, what do they mean?
What, you mean like mendicant? Ultimatum?
No arse when you're mad. Ishanti Kothas. You're swearing, I know it.
Vishanta Kafas. It's Tavine, relics of the old tongue. We still use the colorful phrases.
And it means what?
Literally, you shit on my tongue.
Why not just say that?
A mystery for the ages.
Indeed. And here's what our astrariums have uncovered. You'll see these doors, if you haven't done them all, they'll be closed with the magic locks around them. And inside is a chest that's usually full of pretty decent loot. Not bad.
And Hawk should be inside that cave.
And here we are to meet up with Hawk and the Warden.
Glad you made it. I just got here myself. My contact with the Warden should be at the back of the cave.
A group of wardens were protecting a villager from corpses out near Crestwood.
They were likely hunting my friend. I'm glad they didn't come looking for people to help in here. They might well be good men, but they've been given bad orders.
Well, let's go see what this shit's all about.
It's just us. I brought the Inquisitor.
I'm Alistair. It's an honor to meet you, Inquisitor, though I wish it were someplace a bit nicer.
Alistair was a main character in Dragon Age Origins and made a cameo possibly in Dragon Age 2.
With the hero Ferelden.
I need to change my name. Yes, that was me. War, betrayal, darkspawn, all lots of fun. And made for excellent stories, I'm sure. Nobody cares about that anymore. I answer to Warden Commander Clarel now. Like everyone else.
I'll take all the help I can get. I know the Wardens have troubles of their own. I wonder, though, might those troubles have anything to do with Corypheus?
When Hawk killed Corypheus, the Wardens thought the matter resolved. But archdemons don't die from simple injury. I feared Corypheus might have the same power, so I started to investigate. I found hints, but no proof. And then, not long after, every warden in Orlais began to hear the calling.
I recall that being a bad thing. But I don't recall you telling me about all this.
It was a secret. A very dangerous one. I tried to actually keep a few of my oaths to the Wardens.
Is the calling some sort of Grey Warden ritual?
Well, Wardens are tied to the Darkspawn. We're connected somehow. And eventually that connection poisons you. You get bad dreams, and then you start to hear the music. It calls to you, quiet at first. And then, so loud, you can't bear it. At that point, you say farewell, and go into the deep roads to die fighting. In death, sacrifice.
And every Grey Warden in Orlais is hearing that right now. They think they're dying.
Well, fuck.
Yes, I think Corypheus caused this somehow. If all the Wardens die, who will stop the next blight? That's what has them so terrified.
And then they do something desperate. Which is, of course, what Corypheus wants.
Is the calling they're hearing real, or is Corypheus mimicking it somehow?
I have no idea. Before all this, I'd barely heard of Corypheus. I didn't even know he was supposed to be a Magister until I started digging around. But right now, all that matters is the Wardens are acting like they're going to die.
Great.
You said all the Wardens are hearing the calling. Does that include you?
Unfortunately, yes. When I'm talking or fighting, I can almost ignore it. But whenever things are quiet, I can hear it. It's like a song you can't get out of your head. Damned annoying, frankly.
How can Corypheus make all these Wardens hear the calling?
I have no idea. I suppose it's part of what he is. Corypheus is tied to the Blight, and not just a product of it like most Darkspawn. Wardens are connected to the Darkspawn too. That's how he seems able to control Wardens who get too close to him. And that's likely what he's doing here as well. Somehow.
So the Wardens are making some last, desperate attack on the Darkspawn.
I saw what a Blight did to Ferelden. If Wardens hadn't stopped it, there'd be no more Thedas. Warden Commander Clarel proposed some drastic things, blood magic and such, to prevent further Blights before we die. I protested. Maybe too loudly. And Clarel sent guards and... well... here I am. Wardens were gathering here, in the western approach. It's an old Tevinter ritual tower. I'm going to investigate. I could use some help.
Well, that's just fucking great. So now we know why the Wardens have all disappeared. They're hearing the calling, thinking that they're going to die soon, and are bugging the fuck out about it.
I heard what he said. Hopefully we'll find some answers in the western approach. Though I fear what those answers will be.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Let's Play Dragon Age Inquisition. I'm Subponica Poster. Bye.